And today we're reacting to most painful construction deaths ever. These videos have been good, bro. This channel has been going crazy with these videos, so I am excited to watch this one, see what's going on. We early to the party on this one, man, so make sure y'all like this video, sub up if you not, and keep binging the rest of the keep binging the rest of the videos, man. Put the stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 5, 6 p.m. Let up.
Watch your step. Across the United States are large industrial iron foundries that use molten iron to produce things like engine blocks, frames, and structural components for cars and buildings. At the Caterpillar Mapleton foundry in...
Look at this. I know this is the exact working conditions. Probably, you know, maybe. Let's just put it in perspective like the oil rig people. Bro, that looks like one of them grueling jobs, boy. Shout out everybody messing around with oil rigs working 19-hour, 62-hour day shifts. You feel me? Shout out to them.
Illinois, molten iron is melted at nearly 2,600 degrees Fahrenheit, a heat hotter than lava and hot enough to obliterate human flesh in an instant. For the workers at this factory, the foundry floor is a place where one wrong step means
Look at this. Look at this job. Look at this molten lava job that you work every day. Just the high risk, probably pretty high reward.
certain doom. So it's of utmost importance that each crew member moves with caution 100% of the time.
Yeah.
On June 2nd, a 39-year-old man would be working his 5th day at his new job. He was tasked with retrieving a sample of molten iron for testing. He spun down a giant metal wheel that caused the molten iron to pour out of the vat. Afterwards, he leaned over the boiling hot iron. He got close, like really, really close. And then liquid molten iron...
Bow! Bubble, lava on your face. I'm gonna be honest here with y'all, bro. You know, and I hope I don't offend anybody. If I do, I apologize, bro. But I'm just speaking the real like I do it on my videos, bro. If I catch flames, lava, something to the face, to the point where when you see me, I no longer even look like the person that y'all remember. Y'all know what I mean, bro. The situations where people they're not recognizable. There used to be a video a commercial that would come up on the TV. I know it's early. It's not a Dior video if I don't start yapping in the first 50 seconds. I'm gonna let the video play. I'm sorry. I'm just excited to be here with y'all. But you know that video or that commercial or just that video where you seen the person who was a burn victim. Bro, if that happens to me, bro, just don't even pull the plug on me, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I don't wanna reminisce on what my life once was, bro. Just go ahead and take it. Ew, that sounded crazy. Just end that for me though, please, y'all. Thank you.
And exploded all over his face. I'm kidding.
God, oh my God, guys. I thought I was on premium. I was oh my gosh, guys. I'm sorry, bruh. It was too early in the video for stuff like this to be happening. I'm sorry. I thought I was on my premium
Watch your
account,
step.
bruh. I'm sorry, guys. Please don't click off the video. I know I messed up, bruh. Please.
He successfully retrieved his sample of iron and returned back to his manager. Unluckily, however, he'd somehow slip on the stage and partially fall back into the molten vat of iron. He tried to escape, but it was impossible. Half of his body was in, half of it was out. And before you know it, in an instant, he was consumed by the roaring orange abyss. Witnesses described what happened as beyond comprehension. He passed away instantly, but not all of him was consumed.
Ooh.
Part of his body remained on the steel deck for the coroner to retrieve.
Ooh.
Emergency crews rushed in, but it was already way too late. There was no saving him. The foundry quickly shut down, investigations were launched, and then questions arose. How could a man with so little training be placed so close to one of the most dangerous areas of the factory? It was literally his 5th day on the job. For his colleagues, it was not the first time they'd seen such horror. Just a year earlier, another worker had passed away at the same plant after a similar fall. And now, yet again, a worker's life had been cut short in the most violent way imaginable.
Melted. Because worker melted. You see that? Because that's all it is. Bro, I'd imagine a man that gets melted like that, when he gets pulled out of the thank you, babe. when he gets pulled out of that vat or whatever's left of him, it's probably like a chicken bone, bro. You know when you're eating a drumstick or a flat and all that's left is the bone? You feel me? I almost want to believe the bone not even there. It's just half of a body, seared.
In factories like these, safety isn't just a guideline, it's survival. When molten metal waits beneath your feet, there's no second chance. One misstep and you're gone in an instant. The cable incident. It was just after noon at the Whitworth Sawmill in East Texas. The air was thick with the grind of machines, the smell of fresh-cut pine, and the heat of men working hard to keep the mill alive. But inside, 4 men were locked in a struggle with a jammed wood chip machine. To free it, they turned to the heavy steel cable that wound its way around the gears. They pulled, adjusted, and worked the line, hoping to break the machine loose. And then, in an instant, disaster struck. After working the cable for what felt like forever, they had stretched it out to the point that it extended itself like a bow and tightened back on one of the men. Upon pulling the cable and stretching it back out again to free the man, it finally snapped. The stored energy released with the speed of a bullet and the force of a guillotine. It whipped across the work area with deadly precision, striking all 5 men at once. The impact was catastrophic. 4 of the 5 were decapitated instantly.
Oh, whoa! 4 of the 5 were I'm not understanding the scene. Something whipped and took 5 skulls off.
The 5th man got lucky. He was thrown away to the side and the bones in his leg got shattered, but thankfully his life was spared. For the men who witnessed it, the scene was indescribable. One moment, their co-workers were fighting with some stupid jammed machine. The next second, the floor was silent and each of their bodies stood upright in their same positions with a crucial detail missing. The ground was littered with helmets, sawdust, and bodies. When EMTs
this happened in 1983.
arrived at the scene, they were obviously only able to save the man with the injured leg. The sleeve incident.
Ooh, woo! Sling! Decapitate your junk, bro. That's only some video game shit, bro. Or some cartel shit. Speaking of the cartel, we watched a cartel video on more Astral Dior if you're trying to go check that out, man. Crazy.
In a cavernous factory in Russia, cameras were quietly watching a scene that would later horrify the world. On the floor stood a massive horizontal lathe. The machine was giant, and its steel cylinder was rotating.
That just looked like your arm. That thing right there looked like it's begging for somebody's arm to get stuck in there, boy. For real. Your arm gets stuck in there, watch how many times it get wrapped. In a matter of a second, your arm just got wrapped around 3 times. In a matter of a second. Look
the machine was giant, and its steel cylinder
Yo, boy! By that, your arm is torn off the socket at that point, boy.
Was rotating with an unstoppable force. It was a machine built to carve through metal itself. A Russian man tasked with running the machinery froze upon seeing it. For a couple of moments, he would just squint deeply at the machine, closely inspecting it. His posture was casual, and then from casual, it grew curious. Although it's not entirely clear what it was, the man noticed something wrong with the machine, but after inspecting it, he went about his business. And then he came back because his curiosity got the best of him. Something was obviously wrong with the machine, so he went in for another look. It was then that he realized that he had been inspecting the wrong thing all along. His gaze shifted from the machine to the ceiling above it, and he was astonished with what he saw. He was right. There was a bit of a leak dripping down from the ceiling onto the machine. A sigh of relief came from the man as he became relieved that he had figured out the issue. As he began leaving to retrieve items to fix the leak, he'd quickly realize another, more concerning issue. His sleeve was stuck. And just like that, in a heartbeat, everything changed. The man was yanked into the spinning machine. His body slammed between the cylinder and the base, whipping around with such force that he looked like a rag doll in the grip of a hurricane. The lathe spun faster and faster. First his shoes would fly off, then pieces of his flesh, then chunks, then his limbs. And before you knew it, he was turned into a mist. The camera captured it all. There was no time for rescue or hope of survival. Moments later,
somebody had to watch that video, bro. There's no, human mauling. We're not supposed to be seeing that, bro. We're not supposed to see our body dissected and just destroyed like that.
Another worker in full protective gear.
Yeah, imagine you coming in, walking in, you about to do your job, and this is what you see, bro. You don't even know what you looking at. You like, bro, somebody dropped some raw chicken in here? It's your coworker whole time though.
Entered from the side. He froze at the sight he saw. Red trails, shredded remains, and a stained room. He lifted his hands in complete frustration, then dropped them in despair. The unfiltered camera footage spread across the internet, shocking millions before being digitally wiped away.
Thank you.
Safety experts pointed out the obvious in this case. Don't wear loose clothing around machines like these, and always keep a safe distance between them. The roller incident. It was just after noon at a factory in the Saint Laurent borough of Montreal. The facility specialized in recycling plastic. Massive machines churned endlessly, crushing and shaping materials with unstoppable force. For workers, the rhythm of the rollers was just another part of the day. Clock in, crush and churn, go to sleep, repeat. Except for this day. On August 8th, 2016, at around 12:15 p.m., a 56-year-old employee noticed a piece of plastic jammed in the roller machine. Determined to keep the line and the rhythm of his job moving, he climbed up a ladder and reached in to pull it free.
Oh yeah, bro, this out your pay grade, brother. Get some mechanics for something like this. It's out your pay grade, man.
As you could guess, while trying to perform this extremely dangerous task, the rollers would pinch his
you ain't even got ladder safety. Nobody's holding the bottom.
finger. He'd scream in pain and try to yank it out, but in a split second, his hand was caught and effectively crushed. Unfortunately, that wouldn't even be the worst part. The rollers dragged him in, pulling his body into the unforgiving gear-crushing machine. First his hand was sucked in, then his arm, then his head, and then his chest. His torso became wedged into the entry space of 12 centimeters before co-workers...
Just like the bottle, bro. Just like that plastic bottle.
...rushed to stop the machine. But by the time it halted, his body sat deeply jammed in between a space no bigger than a clenched fist. Insanely...
Jesus! You fitting in there?
Enough, however, he was actually pulled out of the machine alive. Despite his body being crushed and broken beyond repair, emergency responders rushed him to the hospital in critical condition, but there really wasn't much doctors could do.
Yeah.
The man was literally flattened, so sadly, he succumbed to his injuries shortly after.
That's over.
Behind every...
Why would you try to save me? End it for me. You trying to save me from... Bro, just end that. End it.
phone, car, or laptop you use, there is a person. A person who spends anywhere from 8 to 16 hours a day working tirelessly in a factory full of dangerous equipment to grant you these luxuries you have.
Thank you, sir.
Life is delicate and quick. It can be here 1 second and gone the next. So, no matter how small, always be grateful for the good you have. Don't take any of it for granted. Tell your parents, siblings, and friends you love them. And as usual, have a happy day.
Thank you, Talking Hat. Thank you. That being said, y'all let me know what y'all think, bro. I love y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. Be happy about your life. We gone. ADD let door.